Computer. What is up, guys? Well, this is my first time back on market overview after 4 weeks. It's been a long 4 weeks. Y'all did see me on Sunday Night Live, which we did give out some trades out, which I just want to go over. But just like every call that I have, right, I want to go over the main important thing at first. Let me make sure that I fix this. Cool. Right. Uh, we're gonna check out our forex factory, right? I think that's the biggest thing that comes to everything we had. Some major news today. Damn, this doesn't want to stay down. Go right here. Right, we had some major news today. So, news wise, right? Today we had a FOMC conference at 1:30, which went crazy. Me personally, I only trade news if I have a setup. I really don't trade during news. I usually also trade before and after news. My biggest thing when it comes to trading news is getting the movement after the market eliminates either, mainly the retail traders, right? All those people entering. So tomorrow, what do we have? So tonight we have 2 a.m. GBP news, following up with CHF, right? The chef news. And then we got more chef news at 4, right? We have some GBP news at 7 a.m., right? GBP more news at 7:30. USD unemployment claims get dropped tomorrow, and we have some Canadian news, right? So, we got some pairs that are gonna be worthy of looking into, like USD CAD, right? We're gonna want to look into, definitely GU. I think I have it already. Um, but we'll also do USD Chef, and we'll do GBP Chef. Right? I like to look at these pairs because these are the pairs that are going to be most volatile within the next 72 hours, right? Now, as we're seeing the dollar index, right, we are approaching the zone that I was talking about. And we did everything we were supposed to, right? Market has been coming down. We came down, swept the liquidity, right? And when it comes to trading, I follow the money. And the way to follow the money is by following market structure and figuring out which way is the market going, right? As you can see, guys, overall, this was a bearish downtrend. So this was a lower high, lower low, lower high. And then what I saw is we didn't create a new, lower low, but we did create a new high, which made me understand that we now shifted directions of the market and we were coming back. And after we created this new high, right, we liquidated these buyers that were here within the dollar index. I feel like we're going to come back within this imbalance right here in this area and then continue pushing up. Obviously, a lot of the things going on right now that a lot of people have mentioned. You had your 4 years with Biden, and then you have your 4 years with Trump, right? And what people have been seeing within the markets is it's really, you know, unpredictable, right? The consistency in trades aren't as successful for many people. And this isn't talking about myself, right? This is just me talking about multiple traders that I personally follow that personally have said this, right? So, right, what do we want to do and how do we want to attack the markets? And what I've learned within my trading in this career is most of the time you're gonna have to develop yourself, but not just develop. You're gonna also have to evolve, right? You're gonna have to evolve with the markets, and a lot of y'all don't know what that means, right? What do you mean evolve with the markets? Well, this season might not be the season to take so many risky plays like you did last season, right? This season might be the place where maybe you only trade bigger time frames, right? This season, right, might be the season where you start learning how to swing trade and position yourselves into trades, right? Why? Right? You have to understand what is going on, right? You want to be able, when it comes to trading, right, is to position yourselves in trades where you don't have to be sticking your face into the market every single time, every single second to see if your trades in blues or reds, right? So, SPX, right? SPX, I do have SPX coming back up right here and then giving us some movement back below. As you can see, I trade very simple, right? Consolidation, break of structure, change of character, retest, stop loss at the break of structure to continue that movement. But the biggest thing for me when it comes to trading is, right, this is the biggest thing, right? It's gonna be um market structure, right? The last thing you ever want to do is trade against the market, right? So we do have a couple areas that I'm looking at when it comes to SPX already. Obviously, when it comes to looking SPX, what I'm looking at to be exact to tell y'all, right, is obviously we have our consolidation. Within your consolidation, you're gonna find your liquidity, right? As you see, our liquidity was swept as well. We had liquidity within the opposite end, right? We have buyers and we have sellers, right? What market does, it automatically liquidates both ends, right? We took out the sellers, and now we went to take out the buyers right after, right? And the reason why it does this, it's like we all know, is we're here to the markets move where it hurts the masses. Who are the masses? Your masses are going to be people that trade, support and resistance, trend lines, people learning on YouTube, right? Not saying you can't get information off YouTube, right? But most of the time, the information that you're getting isn't valuable and is actually against you, right? So for SPX, that's what I have planned. As we go to the smaller times and seeing if we can enter in within a smaller time frame, I did have this consolidation, this break of structure. We liquidated out these buyers and we created new highs, right? We did come back below, but we didn't go exactly where I wanted it to, right? If we do break above here and market continues pushing up, right? I wouldn't be against, right? Waiting on this to come back down, right? Breaking above here, letting it wait, maybe all London session up here, New York session, we come back down and we buy up, right? So that's the second scenario that I'm waiting on, right? And I'm waiting on a closure, right? It has to be a closure of a candle for me to confirm, right, that I want to enter this trade, right? Number two, right? Let me fix this. Cool. Right. Number two, right? If this market for some reason we do break above and then we still continue to break below, I do have this lower entry. The only reason that I'm not really believing that we'll come back and reach this entry is just couple reasons. The main reason is because NAS 100 kind of already came through that zone. It was a perfect trade. I called this out on Sunday Night Live. As you can see, we had our consolidation, break of structure, created new highs, came back down, and then pushed back up. As you can see right now, there was a scenario where you could have probably entered in a trade. You had your break of structure, change your direction, right? Me personally, where you turned bullish, so I didn't really want to look into getting to. This was actually as well like around 1:30 during news. So we could have caught this, market could have came up, wicked us in, and then we could have been in profit a 101, right? But for me, it wasn't worth the risk. If I would want to see NAS 100 sells, it would definitely have to be a bit higher than where it's at right now, right? Obviously you can see this consolidation up here, right? So we can name that area. I'm also looking at this area right here, right? On the liquidity end, right? Which I like way, 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 way much more, right? Boom, right here. Let's go to the 2 hours, right? And what I want y'all to understand is why I'm, aiming for these areas, right? So I want y'all to understand we had new highs. We broke below, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we created lower low, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we're moving back up. So what about this catches my interest, right? Number one, the consolidation, how we liquidated all these sellers right here, broke above to take them out, making people believe that we were going to continue going up, right? And then we push below, liquidate these buyers, making people believe that they were going to continue. So what's beautiful thing about this is we do have an order block within the zone, which catches my interest a lot more. And we would be liquidating these individuals out um, at a perfect range. So I really like this trade when it comes to NAS, right? You're looking at um, a big risk, right? And the way you're able to minimize it is very simple, right? What we can are able to do when it comes to minimizing these zones, right? Number one, you have this consolidation again, break a structure, change a direction, right? So now, as we're going to smaller time frames, we can see like, yo, where's the imbalance? What exactly are we looking for? And the order block already looks filled. So what I would do, I would use this imbalance right above, right, which catches my interest way more. And we're looking at a much smaller risk, right? We're looking at 100 pip risk, right? The reason why I trade bigger time frames is because you have to understand a lot of what's happening in the smaller time frame can be manipulated and can be um, pretty much, you know, seen for what it's not, right? And you might be like, well, what do you mean by that, Gio? Well, you have to understand, like, they can make you believe within the 15 minute time frame that the market is now bullish, right? When in reality, if we go to the 4 hour, right, market is still bearish, right? So you want to be careful on what time frames are you trading on that and how you're trading those time frames, right? That's very, very important, right? I see a lot of people coming into trading and failing this small concept that can actually create major problems within your trading journey. Um, and most of the reason why people trade smaller time frames is because they want it now. You entering a trade right now, making $50 a day is the same thing as taking one trade a week and making $250 in 5 days. It's the same thing. I'm just being more productive with my time and I'm wasting less time in the market. Because your goal when it came to trading when you got started was to be financially free and to be independent trader, right? Well, now you got into a point where now you're physically looking at the charts at every single moment of the day. You're physically, addicted, actually addicted into these charts. And it's not a good thing because a bad thing because you're growing, but at the same time, right, sometimes you forget, right, what got you started and what was important for you when you got started. So, same thing when it comes to Dow Jones. I have this imbalance up of here. As you can see, we have this liquidity. I would want us to see us push higher. Obviously, we do have this zone right here. The thing is I'm not too confident. um, I guess we can use this, right? We did break above. I would want to see it hold a bit more. Um, you know, I'm not too crazy about this one, you know? And why am I probably looking at this setup? And kind of to explain to every single one of y'all is once a setup creates new highs, like we did right here, right? We broke previous highs. Boom, right? As of right here, we broke previous highs, right? You can continue following the trend and continue finding the next setup after the next setup on that trend, right? What you're looking for is that break of structure, change of character. Once you see that change of character, we wait for that retest, right? Then we continue, right? Now, when it comes to gold, right? As you can see, gold is being herself, right? Um, what I do when markets don't go my way, as you can see, out of your consolidation, break a structure, change of direction, would have hit stop loss. I would have never entered that trade simply because, right? It doesn't apply to my rules, right? This market is very bullish, right? Like I said, you can get fooled, right? When market does that, right? I call it an invert. What an invert is to me is basically when the market does not pretty much stand on what that trade idea was. And if you really think about it, it did, right? It did reject, right? You had your consolidation, break a structure, right? Change of direction, came in our 786. Oh my gosh, beautiful, right? Came below, you made a good, 130 pips, and then we busted up, meaning that we're still bullish, right? Great setup, but you're not following the trend of the market, and you're not gonna, usually get those 1,000 pips moves, 400 pips moves, right? So what I would love to see is I would love to see gold hit 30, 35, and I'm okay with putting my stop loss. We can even put it at 30, 25, right? All reality, right? Boom, again, consolidation, break a structure, liquidated, change of direction. The only thing that didn't get filled out was this, but I do like this. Let's see where the fib is at on the 786, 86 zone, right? Just a bit lower. Perfect. And we wait for this setup to hit, right? Obviously, when it comes to trading, you want to use proper risk management. When it comes to my trading, when it comes to my live, I risk around 3%, right, per trade. I usually trade 3 times a week, right? When it comes to my funded, I'm never risking more than half a percent, right? Half a percent per day, right? Because once you're funded, it's not about when it comes to funded accounts, it's not about getting funded. It's about staying funded, right? Now you just created a new way of creating a new way of capital, and a new uh income source, right? Where you can continue investing into your live account through your funded accounts, right? On top of that, I was looking at silver and oh my gosh, this was such a dirty trade, right? As you can see, consolidation, break a structure, change of direction, retest. Now we're continuing to go higher, right? Now what would I like to see? What I would like to see is this market continuing bullish, right? It's doing this thing, right? If this market did continue to go bullish, right, I would want to see a closure above. If we see this closure above, I can start seeing buy potentials, right? So closure above for buy opportunity, right? Boom, and then you have US oil. I actually have this great US oil trade that I personally like a lot. I think Jack had the same trade as me. But as you can see, right, overall, right, is market going bullish or bearish, guys? We are absolutely bearish, right? If you look even on a bigger scale, right, you have this consolidation, break a structure, change your direction. There's always that possibility, yes, we can come back higher, which I do see it. But if we go on the weekly base, we just have so much liquidity, so much money being built up right here, and so many people that should be taken out, right? That I'm personally waiting to get taken out. So I can see, you know, low 60s, mid 50s, and then us buying back up, especially since Mr. Trump is back on office and what he focused on is on oil, right? So as you can see, right, we had this liquidity all up here. We broke above, liquidated all of them out, and then we had a change of directions. This was a buy opportunity that I did see. It didn't hold as much. So just depending on how we react when we come here is meaning if I would take this one, and then again we have this one a little higher. The only reason I considered this one a little higher is because we do have liquidity right here, right? We have money sitting right there, so there's always that opportunity to liquidate those sellers, come back a little higher to this order block and filling this imbalance to continue going lower, right? Now, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is actually near my entry. This is a trade that I actually been looking at for a bit. It is a bigger trade, right? You are risking a lot more, but I genuinely believe that this will be the trade where we can easily get a 1 or 3, right? I'm very confident when it comes to this trade. This is actually one of my favorite setups I have for the whole week. I called it out on Sunday as well. So, definitely keep an eye, keep your alerts on for Bitcoin, right? Now GBP AUD is approaching my sell area, right? As you can see, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? What else, right? You also want to find reasons why it will go lower. We have liquidity sitting down below, giving us reason why market can possibly go down below, right? We go on to the daily, and we haven't been here in forever, right? We go on to the daily and we can see that this is actually a last point where we can possibly sell within the week area, right? So me personally, this is a trade that I will take. This is one of the best risk rewards we have for the day. You're looking at a 60 pip risk, nothing crazy. Like I said, guys, I like risking more on the bigger time frames because number one, it doesn't give me that chance where I have to look at my phone every single second, right? For me, I enter a trade, I go on with my day, and the only reason I'll check my trade is if I'm trading, to be honest with you, right? Or I'm actively trading, and that's where you want to develop that, right? Now, when it comes to Euro USD, I did have a little higher. Obviously, I want to see what happens once we get into the zone, and how we react. But in any case that we do break below this area, I will be looking for executions and sells, right? Because market would be shifting at that point, right? Lower low, I mean higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. By any chance we break below that, right? We are trading in liquidity as well and a trend line, right? So a bunch of people are buying right there, right? Now, Euro GBP, right? Crazy catch we made on Euro GBP, right? As you can see, right? We caught this right here. This was, I believe, last week, right? Last week we caught this consolidation, breaker structure, right? Lower high, higher low, higher high, broke below, lower high, on the way back for our new lower low, consolidation, breaker structure, institutional move up, right? We want to see us come back to continue going higher, right? So for right now, I'm waiting on that. Maybe I actually do see something in the smaller time frames. Eh, we might have already gone through it. You had this consolidation, break a structure, change of direction. We had our closure, right? Let's see where that 786 lands. There's still a chance, right? There's still a chance where this market can come up one more time, right? Can make one more stretch up to continue going lower. And that's just us following the trend, right? So I wouldn't be against it, and I would even be down and put it on the shoulder. Boom, right? So that's what I'm looking for when it comes to Euro GBP. As we can see, we have GBP news tonight. So this is something that can possibly happen tonight, or we can continue going lower, right? And you might be like, well, if we continue going lower, Gio, is there a way we can catch that? Um, just depending on what the market gives us, to be honest with you guys, right? We had this consolidation, crazy consolidation, lower low, lower high, lower low, I guess lower high. Let's see if we close below here, because I am bearish, right? See how we close here. If we have a great closure, let me look at the 15. Yep. Right. If we close below here, I will start looking for sells when it comes to Euro GBP. Right. Now, where it comes to the good things and what we are waiting for tomorrow, right? USD CAD, what is going on, right? She's been going crazy, right? We had this huge consolidation, break of structure, change of direction, came back up, right? Did the same thing right here, consolidation, right? Break of structure, change of direction. You throw your fib on there, it came back to the 786. Beautiful, right? And guys, when I look for my entries or my setups, most of the time these huge institutional candles, these order blocks happen. Why do they happen where they're going bullish and then they go bearish? It's because big money is in the market, right? When big money is in the market, you have to understand the whole ideology, right? Market pushes up to liquidate the buyers, market pushes down, right, to liquidate pushes that up to liquidate sellers, market pushes below to liquidate buyers. Once they do that, and the way they do that is that once they're here, they buy a ton of shares, right? They're buying, they're buying, they're buying. Cool. Market comes down. They probably buy more, buy more, buy more. And then once they get up here, what they do is they sell. So they're still in their buys and they start selling the market, selling, selling, selling. And once they get to here, they're still holding, right? They're like, okay, we can now take a couple of our sales off the market and we got to break even on our buys, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a low of our sales, wait for the market to retrace. Once we're at break even, we're all taking out our buys at break even. And then we're going to go enter more sales to move the market back lower. That's what happens in the market, guys, and that's what you want to be aware of, right? So now as we go to lower time frames, we can see this consolidation that we break below. Oh, we didn't break below. That's what, but we are following the trend. If we don't continue going higher, this is where we're gonna aim for. But for any reason we do come back over here one more time, break a structure, right? Change of direction. No, I'm good. I like this area better. We'll follow this area. We'll follow this trend. This right here for sales. So that means that if I'm selling USD CAD, is that I believe that the dollar doesn't have too much value. Um, I still see it going lower. Now USD CH Swiss francs, right? Automatically, I see this break a structure. Did we have a change of direction? Nope. Now we do, right? Now that we have our change of direction, we can start now being patient for the market to come back. Hypothetically, we would want it to come up here, but the market doesn't always have to do what we want to. And I think that's what the misconception a lot of people get when it comes to trading. They're like, oh, it has to come back. It doesn't have to do anything, guys. Right. So as you can see, more consolidation, breaker structure, change of direction. I would personally like this one much better than what I just showed y'all. We have this order block up here plus that imbalance. Let's do this. Boom. And we're looking for sells for USD Swiss francs. So it's not going bad, right? We're already looking for sells for these opportunities, right? So now let's go to the main sauce, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, or this was lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And we're still pushing up, right? Still there. We're still pushing, right? Now, that's the 4 hour, right? And this was a great setup right here. Consolidation, break a structure, change of direction, right? Change of direction happened. You wanted that back to your 786. Perfectly came here in your zone, right? This is where you would have originally took your trade because this, or actually right here, but I would have waited on this one either way. Boom, push above, right? Now, what is our new one? Right now, this is where we go smaller, right? Consolidation, break a structure, change of direction. Might see one more buy around this area. If we don't respect this buy, we will continue going lower. But just as what the market has been showing us, it's been bullish. And it's pretty confident in this trade. So boom, beautiful trade. We did create liquidity right below it, right? So, it's all right. It is what it is. Because it makes more reason on why this market could come back below, right? As you go to the smaller time frames, right, you're seeing we did break above higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we broke below. For any reason on the smaller time frames, right, we do get that, hey, we're bearish, market broke below here, right, and validated that trade. We can now look for personal sells around this zone right here, right? And what you want to do is you will always want to be optimistic when it comes to the charts, right? You want to be optimistic and you want to be able to really understand what's going on. Now, let me read the chats. Um, God call with Mike, yes, sir. I'm starting to understand the chart more and more, bro. I'm glad to hear that, Esteban. Um, hey, thank you, bro. You explained this so well, bro. I'm glad you're making sense. It's making sense to you, right? Let me pull this up for you, Lewis. Thoughts on oil? Lewis, I have the same thing. I would want to see sales now, but I like that idea as well. Um, God, same thing. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, guys, drop a one, give it back to Jack. But guys, every Wednesday, right? I'm back 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. Right, guys? You want to make sure you don't miss these sessions. These sessions were what ultimately were created to help individuals overcome, the losses, the turbulence, and really the fear that you receive within the market by people like me and Jack that have already experienced it, right? So we don't want to do nothing but provide value and be able to help every single one of y'all, right? What would be truly amazing if y'all can go follow my YouTube and Jack's YouTube, right? We will start now dropping all pre-recorded videos on there. So if you ever miss a call, all calls are going to be there, right? Jack, if you can drop your YouTube on the Telegram chat, I'll drop mine in a bit as well. Make sure that y'all get connected. And guys, like always, the best is yet to come. I will see y'all on Sunday. Love y'all guys. Have an amazing week.